Recording. All right. Hello, everyone. This is Ninja. Hello, everyone. This is Ninja DC joining again for another React video. This time from My Pony Season 9, Episode 16. We're over the halfway point and going near the end.
The end is near.
The end is nay.
I can't take it.
Oh, the end is nay. That's it. The end is nay.
Apparently
I
not
suppose
for Equestria.
reprance isn't a good pun.
Apparently not for Equestria Girl. There's apparently, even though there was the last special, which we eventually have to get to, is apparently was supposed to be the last, but apparently there's a holiday special-ish thing coming up too. Oh my God! Equestria Girls is outside.
Jolly holiday with Twilight.
It's Twilight and the girls with sunset rolling on the way. But I guess, oh yeah, I guess might as well go with introductions, which is going to be out of order again because it's different from the Hangouts order. All right, going by my screen, starting with Jen.
What? Oh, me? Sorry, I have a Klondike.
This order.
Darn it. Sorry, I have a Klondike bar. Okay. Hello, everyone. This is Jen, and I'm halfway through a Klondike bar, but yay! Welcome to 8-Bit Reactions, and yet still have no ways of a clever intro, but ready to react.
All right. Next up, Herda Bronies.
Hello, all you ponies. I'm a herd of brownies. I mean a pork chop.
That's random.
This is not a trend I wanted to start.
Next up, Second and Day Lover.
Hey, folks, this is your second opinion and day lover here.
No.
And from a critic first, and a fan second, it's episode 16. I don't know really what I can do with that.
Oh, I thought you were going second day.
It's second day here.
Hello.
Hey.
Again, sorry we had a little technical difficulty.
Yeah.
You're back.
Second day. The sun will
second-
come out. On
Tomorrow.
The second day.
The second day has come.
Yeah, was it? If today was bad, then you can try again tomorrow. And if tomorrow's bad, then you can try a little harder. Dun, 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 dun.
Nice.
All right, and then next up, Carlos.
Hello there, Univoproni, aka the Gunmetal Gator, now here, just continuing on the trend that Jen set by eating pound cake alongside with some out of holiday eggnog.
You ate pound cake?
I'm eating it now.
So that's why I saw pound cake on the milk carton.
We may be just a little bit evil.
I mean, I'm tearing up for the loss of pound cake. Can't you see by my little gator tears?
Yes, those are definitely crying noises. Avoid any words you may hear to the contrary.
I have to ask if pound cake tastes like chicken.
Oh no.
No, that's Scooby.
Now I've gone. Okay,
Yeah,
now I've gone
that's-
too far. Now I've gone too far. My bad. Yummy. This is a nice Klondike bar.
What would you do for a Klondike bar? Would you murder pound cake for a Klondike bar?
Not even for $1 million. Jeez.
Really, Klondike bars are so overrated.
No, well,
Oi,
I have one.
Oi,
yet, right?
they're good in a pinch.
They're a meh ice cream treat. I mean, give me actual chocolate on the outside. Carrot, what the heck is wrong with you?
I suppose you're gonna have something bad to say about ice cream sandwiches next.
But no, ice cream sandwiches are what Klondike should be.
Yeah, but they're sort of more like ice graham cracker sandwiches.
Okay, well now we're analyzing ice cream sandwiches.
Well,
I think it's officially That's the point. I think officially has gone too far.
Yes.
Let's reel it.
I think so
Let's
too.
reel it back in.
Yay. Next.
All right, wait.
Well, if today's intro's bad, then you can try again tomorrow. And if tomorrow's one is bad, then try a little harder. Dun, 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 dun.
What would you do for a Klondike bar? Hey!
Hey.
Well, I guess the intro's out of the way. Are you all ready to watch the episode?
Let's watch the
Yes,
episode.
and hopefully our
Yeah.
audio will be better this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hashtag blame Skype.
Blame
Use
Skype.
Discord, please.
I'm thinking
I'm
of
sorry.
I'm testing doing a second test of this one. If this one doesn't turn out well or stuff, I'm just probably gonna use like a third party like audio recorder, like podcast recorder with like Hangouts or Discord. So, but until then, are you ready for some pony?
Let's
Yay.
do it.
Yeah.
All right, and let me see. Oh, yeah, did everyone have their headphones in?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They are plugged in this time.
All right, we're gonna press play in 3, 2, 1, play.
Can cartoon.
Nice.
Missed
Ours
you.
glitched. Hold on a second. Go back.
Wait.
Pause. Stop
Pause.
the
Wait,
video.
let's run the intro again.
Stop the video.
All right, run the intro again. Okay, no,
Wait.
seriously, just go back to 0, 0 and do 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, everyone ready?
Ready.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, press play in 3, 2, 1, play.
Here we go.
Yay. Team
All right.
cartoon.
Welcome
Big
back.
mismatch.
Alrighty then.
Oh,
That's not
spicy wifey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You got this, hey, you got this, Jenny.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Oh no.
You got
It's
left
zero. Oh
Run.
no. Oh no. It's
We lost her.
No,
What?
no, wait a minute. It's
she's gone again.
Wait a minute. She's back to her time travel crazy self. Run.
Oh my gosh.
She's back to zero.
She's loaded.
3-0. Wow, she's wearing a.
She's got a DJ Pole 3 shirt.
That's funny. So, I don't mix pajamas.
Oh God, she serves. She serves.
The season has tried to make twilighting a verb.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Hey, well, she seems like she's doing well, actually.
She's
Hey,
back to
this is-
0 hour again.
This reminds me of like that quiz anime I watched before with like a Rule 63 version of Pidge as the main character.
Yeah. Let's just hope it's not like Japanese question games where she gets blown out of the wall or something like that.
Yeah. So then we'd have to hear the Simpsons speech as the moral. You
And hey,
Japanese
it's a
folk have
brand
lost
new
your
crazy-
way. Game shows aren't about pain; they're about greed.
Hmm.
And some new crazy Twilight faces. Yay!
What do I got?
And you
Oh,
can ring a
God.
bell every time you want to be annoying.
A trivial pursuit. God dang it with these
Yay.
puns. Plus merchandising options.
That's a game show too, though,
Yes,
Yep.
it is.
and a game.
Oh my God, they even reference it in the book.
Oh, poor Spice.
Waka waka
41
waka.
points. Yeah.
She's reading the whole freaking rule book.
Yeah.
Oh
Hey.
God.
Spike is like, thanks, Celestia.
It's the haymaker stick. Wait a minute. Wouldn't by the end of the series we will have to say thanks Twilight?
She's like, thank me.
Oh my God.
Is that
Oh
Maud
my-
and Frankie?
Yeah.
Yep.
I saw,
Yep. And there's both biceps in there.
yeah, both biceps and
I
rainbow.
look forward to analyzing that list after this episode.
Wait, I think
So-
I saw Silver Stream in the background with Amethyst Star.
Oh, I see them. Yeah.
I'm gonna file away ahead of time that the only real way this show has any fun with Twilight anymore is with flanderized version of Twilight. And now, go from there.
Oh god. I'm worried about the buzzer.
Oh,
well.
Sunburst.
A new challenger approaches.
Yeah.
An actual rival to Twilight.
It's time to duel. No, that's the wrong game.
Ooh, burn!
Yeah, well, it's
Oh.
not going to help. I mean, like, Sunburst is someone who, if they're being true to character, should do
Wait a
well,
minute.
unless it turns out.
Oh, yes! Oh, couple.
How sweet.
Rule 34, no, Twilight, don't.
Let's do it!
Odd and
Oh
Mudfire,
no.
they're reminding me of the
The
twins from
absolute
Legend of
randomness option. She's corrupted the possibilities. No!
Oh no. And now she's like, I'm not gonna win.
This is just like Twilight time.
Classic Twilighting. It's good to see
Just
you
only
again, crazy.
a word for this since this season, which is anything but classic.
That was beautiful.
Come
I
on,
thought she was gonna say
When you take a hobby to
Yeah.
its logical extreme.
Shouldn't Twilight thrive on that?
Yeah, maybe.
Wow. Oh, am I kidding? Yeah.
Oh!
Thinking of other people proud of their.
Oh! Oh! Well, at least they got the continuity with Steven Magnet's hair right.
Apple Dash.
Steam Apple Dash? Oh.
Oh my god, look at the bulk!
Oh, they would.
Wow!
Well, the fact that she said that just raised the actual chances of Bulk and Fluttershy winning a lot.
Dang it, the couple gets
Wait, they're not even gonna let Twilight
Stick in the rock.
participate?
Well, Twilight and Pinky are the last ones.
Oh god.
dang.
Pinky.
Baking fry.
And the
Yay.
new parent has come!
It's going to be like, you have to learn to work with your friend even if they're a pain in the neck sometimes and they hurt your...
Oh, classic.
God, Pinky, you're such a noob.
Yes.
God, Pinky, you're the complete opposite of a partner I ever want.
Oh, yeah. Or it's okay to lose.
Yeah, one of those two. They like doing the Pinkie Pie is actually really smart thing these days, or sometimes they do.
Twilight is my bestest friend. Whoopee! Whoopee!
The fact that they're doing this.
Oh my god.
What was that face?
Did you call it
That
Pie Pie?
Twilight.
That's a shit name. That's a shit name. Twi Pie. Why? Why are you freaking up all of them?
Do not endorse. Do not
Stop
endorse.
lying.
Do not build ship. Put those hammer and nails down.
No, never. Oh, glitter.
Hey, nice.
Ooh. Not
Already
even.
got the
Do not
foundations
be. Do not
first.
be swayed by the glitter. Do not build this ship.
Yeah. Okay, well, the
The
fact
ship
that
has already
Pinkie
been
Pie
well
is
established.
building up how excited she is ahead of time means they're probably going to have Twilight rain on her parade before the
Probably.
day is through. Or
Air horn.
Go.
it's either okay, she's either going to test Twilight's tolerance or she's going to break Twilight's tolerance and then big turnaround like I'm so sorry, Pinky. I should not have cared about the game that much.
Oh. What?
Oh, wow.
Wow.
The psychotic cult leader.
All
Oh
right.
my god.
I do
This is
remember
gonna
a
be
guy who used to
interesting.
say Spike is best punching bag.
Yes!
Wow.
It's funny because they have the same
Ashley
voice actor.
It's Ashley Ballception.
And also actual good use
What
of
words?
the competitive streak. Wait a minute, the only one not here is actually Rarity. Jesus.
That was cute. Yep. And there it is.
Oh, that face of
Oh,
Twilight.
there it is.
What?
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Oh. Oh no.
And you broke that rule, Twilight.
And you broke the fun for her. Oh god! Avian C acting to the extreme.
Yes, Lee George?
Absolutely correct.
Yeah, Twilight, why did you decide then to yell at Pinky? That was kind of weirdly staged.
Maybe
power couple-
she was
Wait a
asking,
minute.
do you know this?
Oh my god!
Nice.
Wow.
How did that happen?
Eee.
I don't know.
Maybe the
Oh
questions
my
was
god!
animal and workout questions.
Yeah! Because I am suspended for it. Apple. You're an apple relative, Pinky. No!
Oh, brother. ADD,
Well,
Pinky.
Maybe you should have said strawberry shortcake. Psychology! Psychology!
Zap apples.
Are you trying to force Pinky to answer the question instead? Like,
Serious?
And now she's tied with
no, I'm
Applejack.
confused. Why couldn't Twilight just ring in herself there?
How come Twilight didn't know that? How come Applejack didn't know that?
Because she got defeated by Rainbow.
No.
Oh, ow.
Oh, dear.
That was a psychological tactic in order to avoid a tie. And Rainbow actually performed quite smart here. Oh my god, she's actually not even doing that. Like, and I'm
You're allowed to
happy.
do that. I mean, this is...
Like, the best way you can actually do this.
But she wants to be like, what's that? Nice
So,
to Pinky, I guess.
Yeah, so she doesn't want it so bad to be the blatant MVP. Oh boy, here we go.
I can't believe, like,
Pretty
some
bad,
version
too.
only has 3 points too.
Yeah, it's kind of...
Oh, it's probably because of
Shocking,
Cranky.
too.
Oh,
like, is there supposed to be a rule that you need to take turns, or...
right.
What is Cranky Doodle even doing there?
What?
She said.
Sleepy?
Oh my god, she's roll checking! She's roll checking! Oh my god, she's roll checking! Oh my gosh, why are you dirty underhanded woman? Oh my god! I can't believe she did that.
So she's going to use the rules
Whoa,
against
that's
them.
a little ruthless
Oh,
there,
no.
Twilight.
Underhanded, but oh my
Yes.
god.
What the heck?
What?
Serious?
What?
Oh my
Okay.
god.
There's a rule against that?
And she's trying to see if they'll break. Wow!
What? No.
Yeesh.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Thanks, oh my god, come on, Pinky.
It turns out to be the fan fiction, not the actual big good.
I don't know why, but the animation just feels different in this episode.
It's like they're trying to remix Lesson 0 a little bit.
Wow, that was perfect.
What?
Chili pepper.
Oh.
Chili pepper frosting.
Wow.
Oh, really?
God. Wow. Ah, Twilight.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Oh my god, no! That is just like sad.
yeah, Pinky's not
Van
going to find fun when we're answering all of the questions.
Anger.
What?
What? Wow.
Oh.
Oh, come on.
She's sitting in
Too
small.
convenient.
What?
It's literally an obtuse category. Oh, you being a good dog here. Thank you, my brother. Oh my god, yes.
Flint.
Flint! No!
Oh my
yes,
god.
Pinky, go to the sunburst
So
side.
I'm guessing, based off of that, like,
Wow. Oh god.
What?
No!
is she gonna team with Sunburst and,
No, but she's disqualified.
or is Twilight gonna team with Sunburst?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I
That's
got you
most
disqualified, and now I get Sunburst.
Wow. Okay. Oh god.
Oh, sunbursts.
Sun
Sure.
twi sun. Sun twi.
The sun
Oh, come
Oh,
on,
Come
Twilight.
on.
balloon emotions. Oh my god. Yes, patronize her more. I'll pick you up.
This is almost like a more digestible yakety sax, like they're trying to do the, oh, it looks like no solution is the right one. Too bad. You're just gonna have to deal
Tyrek.
with the hijinks.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Ooh.
Oh.
It's a technically face-off.
Yeah. My brother. I appreciate it. Oh god, it's like all the sass in this episode. No.
Wow.
Magic.
What?
Yes.
Sunburst this much.
Wow. Sunburst is now
Willing
giving
to-
Twilight a taste of her own medicine.
Yeah, when is Sunburst this willing to do that?
Yeah.
Oh my god, he's pulling the Gundam Itari.
Oh no. Dash has got this one.
Yo.
Yeah.
This is like ship breaking. Oh. Oh my.
You would.
Well, he has no teammate to team with.
You weren't thinking more. Wow.
Wow, really?
And hay cakes.
Yeah, no.
Mm.
Wow! Thank you! You're giving Pinkie Pie actual justice here.
Oh.
Oh! Oh my god! Oh. Boom.
Reference.
Yes.
The ship is back in full swing.
Oh well.
Oh.
Okay, good. I was worried that would actually happen. Oh.
What is Derpy doing? Derpy was banging her head on the wall.
He's trying to get in.
Apparently couldn't
Yeah,
get
he's
in.
pulling on the door.
Oh,
Hey.
why? Why, Derpy?
That was sweet.
Like
They
she
didn't
was
let her
trying to
in
get
for some
Mark,
reason.
She got locked out because derp.
No, she got locked out because
was
Dr.
a-
Hooves locked her locked her out.
Oh.
That's
This
so
was a-
mean.
Wow.
This was a very different episode.
That was a good episode. That was like okay. Really? Can you just simply say like this episode? Like I heard someone say like, oh, this is like a much more like a delectable version of
I said digestible.
Well, digestible. Yeah, that's
Right.
Yeah, but I could definitely. Well, yeah, I just don't know.
No, when I say different, I just want to be clear. I'm not saying bad. I'm just saying this is sort of like out of no, like it reminds me actually of like a classic Tiki episode where it's just sort of very random and chaotic, but a good way. And like even though it's more Twilight focused in this, that's sort of like its tone and setting for me.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
like, well, I Yakety Sax, I was bringing that up because it uses the same approach of like, I guess there's just not any reasonable answer whatsoever in sight. Gonna have to roll with the hijinks. Nothing we can do about that, am I right? Like, because, I mean, it's not nearly as annoying as that is, and it's like, I mean, it's a little more self-aware of what it is to, like, enough to make that fun at times, but, hey, I don't know, Still not the most fond of episodes that force hijinks to happen because we wanted to do hijinks, and also less than fond of the moral formula, like, nope, no matter what it is you wanted, it is never, ever, ever as important as your friends. Like I think the best quality of that Rarity episode where she sings the pony every pony should know, for example, with a sweet
yeah.
like that one, that's probably the type of episode that relies on that formula more than any other. The whole, oh, I'm getting a reputation with another crowd, but nope, no matter how important it is that they, or no matter how nice it is that they think this or this of you, you should always remember that your friends are number one, and always make sure you put their gatherings ahead of all others. And Sweet and Elite does not go that route. It deliberately and really intelligently sidesteps it. It points out that, okay, like, you know, it's sometimes you have other things to do that happens, but I mean, you know, keep in mind who your good friends are, because heck, they'll probably be supportive of you doing things that like matter to you, that are important to you on some level. Like, it's a really fun way to keep goals in mind. Like, nuance here, it's right back to no matter what you wanted or how bad you wanted it, it is never, ever, ever as important as your friends. I don't know anybody who would like throw out something they've been waiting for a year that like freely, and then like admit they were wrong to care about it intensely that freely.
Or having fun with your friend.
At all. I mean, like, apologizing to friends I could understand, but I mean, like, I've seen that kind of thing before, like somebody doing something really that was really important to them, and they really tried hard to prepare for, and like, getting intense enough so that people start elbowing their way around a little bit. And I mean, like, I don't know, the absolute pious route, like, I have, or at least in this live, usually have trouble believing it, and this episode didn't convince me that this context and this delivery was the exception. How about that?
Okay. Like, so, like, the fact that, like, it took it so very extremely, like, into, like, that zany dimension, like, hyper-competitiveness of Twilight for, like, an academic sport. It definitely didn't feel like as good as, like, some of the more well-written episodes of the past. I totally understand your argument, second, and I do agree with, like, those sorts of things. I mean, like, for me, like, this episode felt a lot more, like, fun, like, actual energy, like, I'm getting from an episode even with a predictable plot like this. Like, I know, like, they didn't, like, sidestep like any of, like, the usual plot hooks at all, but in the end, it was just, like, complete full energy from, like, the ground up, and it just kept on going and going. It's not going to be anything more than a good episode, but the fact that I had so much fun with it, it's a highly entertaining episode. Maybe not for those who've seen this plot before many times, like multiple times. Like, maybe if you only seen it a few times, this might be like one of those like high energy examples. Like, this is probably like one of the better like plot driven episodes that were like formulaic like this, because of like the amount of jokes you can get from like all these multiple characters here, and most of the main six were here except for Rarity. That's kind of like another thing I like to note here.
It's an interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can give you the energy. Those. I mean, they were definitely out to have some fun with this, which is like, I guess, I don't know if I thought I said at one point that it was like kind of walking the line towards me, and that is kind of what was pulling me back towards the other side. That there was a genuine sort of fun-loving sense in there.
I feel like for me the episode has definitely taken my heart, and I mean that in the Phantom Thief way. So, yep, I definitely feel unfortunately this episode is good, just good. It's not great. Like, the entertainment value doesn't make it great. It's just a really good episode. Like, not one of the best of the show. Probably one of like the high midpoints of the season, but just I hope this definitely gave me back like the peak. This is like the second episode of the season. I was like, you gave me back Pinkie Pie as she should be. Thank you for not ruining her like season 8.
For the most part, yeah, Pinkie Pie was pretty likable in this episode. She was really sweet. I mean, like, I even the points where I rolled my eyes where she was involved, like it wasn't necessarily because they were using Pinkie Pie in a way that she wouldn't be used. It's just like, okay, we get oblivious Pinkie, and of course we get it in this time, in this place, like, she, no compromises, she's just going to be as unhelpful as possible, except for when she could be, but Twilight doesn't want her to be anymore, and she's not going to, forgive Twilight for wanting to do the game without her. I guess we'll just have to have the hijinks. But yeah, that's on the invisible hand guiding the story more than it's on Pinkie Pie herself. Pinkie Pie herself was pretty likable.
Yeah.
Pinkie just stayed, Pinkie. This just, to me, it just seemed like that's what Pinkie is. And for a minute, I thought they were going to be like, oh, wait a minute, Pinkie's going to have a breakthrough moment where she answers an actual intelligent question.
It would have been fun.
Well, they do have done the whole, like, okay, Pinkie Pie is, she has a hyper mind that's, really scattered, but also, I guess, capable of, high level thought, like, what are the episodes that like doing that? I mean, the comics made it more explicit, but like how she knows the name of and the likes and every single every single thing in Ponyville.
She knows everybody's birthday and all of that.
Right.
She has secrets.
She also was, if everybody remembers, she's also the one that got the sprites out of out of Ponyville because she had her like. I'm gonna call it the Great Big Electro Who Cardio Schultz.
Great Dr. Seuss reference there.
Yeah.
What else? She can understand. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say I will give the show I don't mind I don't find it too unbelievable that Pinkie was bad at the trivia thing, mostly because sort of Twilight was demonstrating a big part of it is just following the rules and being focused and all that, which Pinkie can know a lot of the things that she did for when he moved into more of the baking rounds and all that.
Mm-hmm.
She just is sort of not a very focused character. She can't she can make a lot of just natural fidgety mistakes, which are just bad for trivia.
Especially when it was her first time playing the game.
It was like what she says. It's like God, you're such a noob.
It's funny. Yeah, I mean, the trivia game, they can say it's whatever they want. The show, that is, they make up what it is. They make the rules. They decide however they want, how good the characters are at it. I mean, for me, the trivia itself was not the particularly engaging aspect, and it didn't seem like they meant it to be. It seemed like they meant the character dynamic to be, and I mean, that's, there's the upside of the energy there, and there's the downside, the numerous times where here we go. We have to force hijinks to happen because that's the kind of story we wanted to tell, where the reasonable solution doesn't exist because of course it doesn't, so we can tell the moral of no compromising on making your friends happy, no matter what you want. It is never as important as your friend's momentary happiness.
Yeah. Your failings and wants or accomplishment are not as important as friendship. Isn't that right, Rainbow Falls?
Yeah.
In your case, your example was wrong.
Ironically, Rainbow Falls probably did it a lot better than this episode, where they took the time to establish, okay, Rainbow, she's not obligated to, it's not required to, or she's not their friend, and they took the time to establish, okay, both decisions, there's a lot of weight, she really has to give something up, whatever she chooses, but I mean, sometime, and actually, I think more than anything, what sinks it for me is that, what seals that one for me at least, is that it's not like Rainbow was in any way doing wrong by herself by doing right by her friends. It was just joining with the Wonderbolts team was just kind of something she wanted. So it's Okay, I mean, like, something that's really important to your friends, you can, I mean, as hard as it can be, like, sometimes it is the nice thing to do to bite the bullet on that one, where it's like, well, something you've wanted all year, something that could propel your business into the stratosphere. Well, you could if you're a jerk, but I mean, you might affect your friend's momentary happiness. What you gonna do, jerk?
And in these moments,
Okay.
you have to be, do I do this for the moral good or do I do this for the greater good?
Yeah, greater good.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, Rainbow Falls, I can,
Sorry.
well, what was I saying? Or moral good versus greater good. Actually, I don't know if we've ever had a moral good versus greater good episode per se.
Oh my god, that would be for something interesting for a kid show because I'm pretty sure My Little Pony isn't gonna.
Oh no, I'm wrong. We had Twilight versus Tyrek. Does she get Tyrek to at least put his word down that her friends are going to be alright? Does she not sentence them, including discord, to unspeakable fates, or does she keep the last of the power that stops him from corrupting everything? That, like, yeah. Okay, so that I would consider a moral good versus
season
greater.
finale.
Like,
Yes.
season 4 finale.
Still has like one of those. Yeah, that's pretty nice to see. Like one of the best finales still has like a good quality like that to carry it through the ages.
Yeah, really. People, like, I feel like people, when they think of that, they remember the 2-minute fight between Tyrek and Twilight. But honestly,
Yeah,
from start to finish, that was built up and written so well.
The Dragon Ball Z fight.
The Dragon Ball Z fight, yeah.
Yeah, like
yes.
it basically feels more like Gohan versus Cell. I think that was
Yeah, that's true. I actually really love this episode. And it's so relatable.
It is.
Oh yeah. I know Twilight in my life right now, and I missed this like moral of the story last time, and I got it this time.
What was last time?
Last time we didn't get like it's okay to not win, but we get
mean,
this
2, 4,
time.
6 grades?
Yeah, we get this time, and like I would say like I would sacrifice something like this because the game itself like yes, it's important to Twilight, but it's not going to win her any money. It's not going to propel her business. It's not going to do anything else than her winning the game. Let's get that straight.
Well, she cared enough about it to be looking forward and preparing for it for a year now, plus keeping it going. I mean, there's such a thing as something you're just personally
been the reigning champion for how many years was it? 15 or something in those years?
3 years.
Reigning champion record is not like a cake. You can't just break off a piece and be like, okay, I can buy more cake tomorrow.
What is more important to you, to have fun when you're playing games or like win every game?
Okay, let me propose a question to you.
Twilight.
If you propose that question to Rainbow Dash, what do you think she'd say?
Rainbow Dash?
So, Rainbow Dash responses. Think of at least 5. Winning is fun. This is something that is really important to me. Do you have any idea how hard I've worked for this? I love to win.
But there's still
and
something
5
that's more
is
important to win.
win.
There's still something that's more important to win, and what's that?
There's sometimes you just play a game because the challenge of it is what is fun for you.
Still, there's something more important than winning, and what's that?
It's not winning is not everything. It's how you play the game, right?
Yeah, actually, I really can relate to Twilight here.
Yeah.
I was aware of that even
I
while
was very much.
I just love like the monarchic, like her over the thing to Bill. What was it? I saw a second in that light. I was just like, that second in a nutshell. Like every time we play a game or we go somewhere, for example, we just played laser tag with one of our friends, and he's like so obsessed with like, oh, we have to do good and we have to win, and I'm just there to have fun. And like even though I didn't get a lot of points, I managed to do better the second time. And still, he goes on with like, you could have stand it over.
I suggested exactly 2 times that you don't be the commando.
He's lying. He's lying. Like he was after me with all sorts of small, and I didn't care.
This is where you decide to make me pay for that?
Fun.
No, but seriously, I suggested twice that you tried to be the assassin instead of the commando.
That's good.
No.
Yeah,
well, during the game, I tried to help you, but that was because you were getting shot to pieces, and I was like, "Here, look out!"
I had fun, though.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was trying to help you from not getting snuck up on.
I don't care.
I was trying to be a good teammate.
I didn't.
So
that's also what Twilight is doing with answering all of the questions, right?
No, that's what Twilight was doing at the end when she's like, "Pinky pilots go at it together."
He was trying to protect you, Day. He was trying to protect you, Day.
Exactly. But no, seriously, me trying to help you in the middle of the game, that's being mean to you.
It's not only that though. Like it's like
I have a feeling that this has been a long time coming, built up. But I will give you this much, that all the relatable things Twilight does, the hijinksy stuff, when it starts to go there, I'm like, okay, you're kind of losing me here. Like the checking the rulebook and looking up the really silly rules, like that's where I feel like it cares less about being relatable and more about being.
That was where it was breaking for me as well. Yeah.
Hijinksy and the whole stopping mid game to be like, be cast aside, you infernal corruption machine. I musteth go, apologizeth to my greatesteth friend, and mend the brokeneth fenceseth. That is the part that I like. I'm sorry, when you're in the zone like that, you're more inclined to handle it like a rainbow dash, like maybe try to do the honorable thing to acknowledge it, but not stop racing mid-race.
Yeah, that's true.
And then maybe afterwards be like, all right, how can I make it up to you? Or apologize, see if they even really took it all that hard, which, except for getting her disqualified, and for the record, that's another hijinksy moment that I wasn't into, but I can buy the trying to carry your team, the real life equivalent of that scene to me is okay, somebody tries to carry the team and then just kind of keeps trying to carry the team and maybe gets a little more intense. The whole get disqualified and then throw away your 3-year streak because how dareth you is that's where, I don't buy it.
Yeah, that's true. That was also a little much for me, but elsewise I think actually it was a really, really good episode, and I liked seeing the characters again. Sticking them out. All people like Fluttershy and
both biceps.
It was interesting to see Sunburst, because I was thinking maybe Twilight would be nervous about Sunburst, but of all ponies, she's nervous about Pinky, and I was just that actually
getting paired with her.
Yeah, but that's so relatable to me as well, because in the if it was a Trivial Pursuit game, I think I would be like Pinky, the one that you don't pick unless you want random.
No, you'd be like that in laser tag. I'm sorry you got caught in the middle of our relationship spat there, audience. I shall now doeth the righteth thingeth and casteth aside this reacteth and apologizeth to my dear day lover. Come here, you.
Get a room, you kids!
All of the kisses.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I leave the microphone on for that?
It's bad enough you were all over each other at BronyCon.
Yeah, that's true.
That was pretty tamped down for us.
Actually,
yeah,
no,
it was actually a really tame for us.
Well, for her. I'm actually a very...
Guys, it was actually endearing.
Oh, shucks.
Aww.
I'm actually a pretty modest guy in real life. She just seems to bring it out of me.
Yeah.
Aww. Excuse me as well. I go hug with my boyfriend. How did we get into ponies to all of a sudden solve a sudden a relationship conversation into
Because Mudbriar and Claude ripped off on us.
Yeah.
into like sweet and all
As
that
long
fun
as
stuff?
they're not rubbing with the. Oh no.
Your joke died there. What's the matter? Dirty mouth turned clean all of a sudden.
I sure hope not.
I don't think like nothing happened to Spike with like taking the what was that, the points?
The point, yeah, they didn't follow up on that joke,
they didn't
did they?
follow up on that joke, and I'm actually really glad that they didn't do, because like then like it's just like, okay, what happened?
There was room for that to potentially be funny. I would have at least listened if they'd tried to tell jokes with that.
Yeah. Again, it was also actually nice to see Granny again. Granny Smith.
It's always great to see Granny Smith.
Yeah.
Oi.
And all of the shippings. Now we have new shippings as well.
Maud and Mudbriar are already a confirmed thing.
Well,
Is it Fluttershy and Bulk Biceps? I can imagine all the Fluttercord members be like,
No, you're not thinking large enough here, Jen. What about like Cranky and Sunburst? They're sitting at a table together. They're being shipped. I'm sorry,
well,
it's
probably,
too late.
but Cranky has a wife, and
it doesn't matter.
At a table. Just because they're sitting at a table.
Bronies are insane. Yes, bronies are insane.
Well, maybe a couple of people would do it, but
maybe,
that is unappealing to the point where it would probably die in the hole it deserves to die in. Okay, well, there's the dirty day we all know.
Dirty day.
Corner.
Wow, man, Table Coon from Code Geass is just, somebody put a spell on that thing.
Yeah, that's true. I was just like thinking, but is Pinky and Twilight are they shipped? I guess so.
Who is Twilight or Pinky not shipped with?
Well, like each
kitchen
other.
sink.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I mean,
gotta make that when I get home.
Well, Day, if you love this, did you ever hear the fan fiction in which somebody actually paired up the Rainbow Dash with a kitchen sink?
Yeah, I also like did that for one of the ones in the Rift.
I was like, I remember hearing that. I was like, this should not make me laugh, but yet it does.
Yeah.
I was told the story of the one where Rainbow Dash came out to her friends as straight.
Yay!
And they always suspected, as they said, and they were shocked, but they supported her.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
No, wow. No, it's going to be Apple Rainbow ship. Apple Dash forever.
Ship with everything. She shipped with everything, even the kitchen sink.
Yes.
That was like that squirrel gag. Gee, you smacked me with everything except the kitchen sink.
Yeah.
Well,
wow. There's the kitchen sink. There's the kitchen. Oh, that reminds me of one of the old Looney Tunes cartoons where like Yosemite Sam is trying to get with Granny, and it's really Bugs Bunny dressed up as Granny, and Bugs is actually just like throwing stuff down. She's like, I want to take a few things along. Catch! And he's throwing stuff all the way. All these for the next few minutes, and then all of a sudden, like, Yosemite Sam looks at the camera and says, that dame's taking everything but the kitchen sink. And then all of a sudden he throws a kitchen sink falls down on him.
Nice.
That's funny.
That's pretty good, yeah.
Classic. That's classic. Ever since then I'm like, everything but the kitchen sink. So now like I expect like a kitchen sink to come out of nowhere.
Also, like that, we got new answers for questions that we don't know, right?
We did.
Like the what was it? Cupcake one. I didn't know that one.
I did not know that one either. And also,
I don't think we were supposed to know that one.
No, I don't know any.
Did that actually happen in an episode?
I don't know. Maybe we will check that after, see if they're right. But they're probably right.
I actually think that might be a reference because I think way back when, like in episode 1, they had like where Twilight dipped like the cupcake in like or was something in like chili sauce or something. I was like,
Oh
wonder
yeah,
if that's
that's
a
true. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That was one of the first episodes where
That was
Twilight
the first
got,
episode
Oh, it
where you had
was.
Twilight. And now you have lots and lots of friends. Oh, she's so happy. She's tearful.
That's funny. But the Trivial Pursuit stuff actually reminds me, at BronyCon we went to the Applejack Appreciation Panel, and at one point we could win free artwork if we answered questions right. And at one point, like, they asked how many apples is there in the barrel of episode whatever with Applejack, and I just like blurt out A or 50 or something. I knew it was wrong, but I wanted a free piece of art, and he was just like, oh, that's correct, come up and get your art. And I was
gosh!
I know it's wrong, but
Except
And
it's
then
not.
you found out it was right, except you found out it was right. You took a shot, and you made it bullseye.
So if you can do trivia that good, why are you so self-conscious about your laser tag skills?
Well, like, laser tag and Trivial Pursuit is not the same thing, you.
Like, that's no reason to be so self-conscious about it.
I could shoot well with my rifle better than you, so don't get me started there.
I didn't say I was mad at you. I just made a friendly suggestion.
Okay, you
Take it
kids.
that hard.
Okay, you kids, settle down now.
It's not as hard as you think to be the assassin. It's a good strategy in that
I'm the only
laser
one
tag
with
part.
a real rifle, though. In real life.
Oh, jeez, no.
Yeah.
Too soon.
Yes.
Too
Yes, I
soon.
deserve to live another day,
Yes.
surely.
Too soon there, Day. But we get what you're saying. Anybody else got any comments?
Oh, that was a
All right, I'll go.
Yeah.
Go, Alex.
Okay. Did anyone else feel like this episode was really short?
Yeah. Actually,
little.
I
Like
wouldn't say-
incredibly short. I don't know if it's because they never changed locations, but
I don't think
it just felt
I wouldn't
really
say-
short and also really
wouldn't say-
formulaic.
I
like,
wouldn't say
it
it
was
felt
The
short.
most basic of basic formulas for an episode.
I wouldn't say it felt short, but it felt like very rushed. Like, if that makes sense. Like, it felt like there's like very like the pace was like sort of obscenely fast at times, where it just felt like it was going through things very fast. Like that's what I say, this sort of random pinkiness, where just like that's all right. It just felt like a very energetic episode, like where I literally kept checking the length of the episode. Just to be like, wait, is this like a sped up version?
Yeah.
It was like,
Yeah.
nope, this is regular length, like episode 1 is like just very fastly paced.
I guess like that's what happens with Twilight, because she's so hyper. It feels like it's stressing.
If I had to speculate on why it feels like that, I'd say that, like, for one, it doesn't really, like, follow a 3-act structure after it sets itself up. It basically just, like, goes through primarily everything it wants to get you, and then, like, the last minute is, I've got to go apologize to my friend and make right, but at the same time, that middle portion just kind of goes through, like, so many things. I mean, if there's nothing else good about it in the world, it's not boring. It's like, it's like, look over here, look over here, look over here, look over here. Like, I mean, it's certainly having fun with itself going through all of these things, so it's like it doesn't drag, and in the main portion that the pace is so fast is also basically 2 acts condensed into one, the bulk of the episode.
And I also think it helps with
Yeah.
the Twilight being so hyperactive. It's actually stressing you because it goes on so fast with her ringing on the bell and like her being all over the place. You're not used to that, or well, not that much.
You haven't. At least you haven't seen that really. You only saw that in like one kind of instance back in the episode where Luna and Celestia were on the vacation, but you haven't seen a full on Twilighting thing since, well, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, since maybe Lesson 0 itself.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, I mean, depends on how long a sequence you want. Crystal Empire, Twilight Time, where she's supposed to be stressing out through week and across time dimensions.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I already said Crystal Empire. The beginning of the end episode, where they introduced the word twilighting at the beginning of this season.
Oh, yeah.
Or where she's stressed out so much so she catches on fire.
Yeah, the winter
I
wrap
thought it
up.
was because she
That
was so
came after
angry
Lesson
she
Zero,
kept
though.
on. I thought that was when she got so angry she caught on.
Oh,
That
yeah,
is
okay,
true,
that's true, yeah.
The Yak episode, which I actually even said at the time felt more like a Twilight episode. They, like, to make it a Pinkie Pie episode, they almost had to give her her own subplot doing something else while everyone else is still doing the thing with the Yaks. But yeah, Twilight was in full hand-up Twilight mode there.
Twilighting mode.
Yeah, that is caught on. I think is that the very first time I said, like, okay, I think the Lesson Zero thing is starting to get a bit flanderized,
Yes.
and I had no idea what was coming.
No. Then this episode
You had
happens.
no idea. Like,
All of
hey,
the
Grace,
Yeah.
Grace,
But she's actually
Twilight all the
acting
time.
more like Pinky in this episode. It's almost kind of ish.
But,
Pinkie Pie is only gets wrapped around like very specific things. Well,
Yeah,
Pinkie
it's
Pie
not
gets wrapped around like when she thinks her friends are misleading her, like when something happy and good-natured and everything, when she suddenly suspects it might not be that, when like she gets insecure about it. In Twilight, it's when everything that she's ordered might be out of order, when her compulsions, when she thinks she's not obsessing enough to serve her compulsions.
Yes. That's true.
All right, one more thing. Did anyone else feel like the animation in this episode was just completely different?
No, I brought that up during the thing. I was like, I brought that up because I kept asking, like, I think what happens is like everything feels more rounded and like thick.
Yeah. Because what it used to be is like they insert like the pony model in each scene, and they have a certain amount of angles for the pony model. But now it seems like they're doing most of everything by hand.
I would be real surprised if that's the change they made now. I mean, like animation, there's always ways to change that up to push it a little bit further without like going back to something that's that much more work.
Yeah, I don't know if I feel like the animation is different. It just went on like really quickly. It was more scenes.
I've been wrong before though.
Than before. Yeah,
there's also this like this one angle that they turn their heads like, and it's just like it's a new angle, and whenever they turn that way, it looks like their head is like their muzzle is pushed in, and their head is more rounded.
That's what I meant by like everything felt like more thick and like thick and I think it said rounded, or that's how I would describe it. It just seems more. They've used this like look before, but not like back to back to back. Like it was usually like I've seen this design choice like usually for like one weird face shot, but like they kept using it throughout the episode, like the facial design.
I just don't know what to feel about it at this point. It's not like good or bad. It's just weird.
I must admit I might need to watch the episode again and see that.
Like I'll even bring up a screenshot of it.
Sure.
Let's see.
But I don't feel like it's becoming worse. I don't think I notice anything that would make me unhappy with that.
Oh, I think
it's not bad. It's just
interesting.
I think like the time the show gets worse is when it gets boring. Like dull with like that, like it doesn't develop its characters, like it's in some sort of limbo.
That's true, and we get a lot of new faces for Twilight and a couple for Pinky too.
When I hear the debate on it, is boring worse or is annoying worse, I have a very simple what I think is a very simple question anyway to determine which for me. How much boring? How much annoying? asked two very simple questions, but
Not as annoying as yeah.
But I mean, like,
You know, I hated episode.
I mean, it's like, I mean, there's such a thing as only a little of one or only a little of another. Like, I'd take, the first Equestria Girls, which is a little bit boring, over Yakety Sax, which is really, really
I'll take
annoying.
Everything over Yakety Sax.
Any day.
Wait,
Or,
isn't Yakety Sax both boring and annoying at the same time?
Yes.
Ooh, the episode that's both boring and annoying.
I don't think it was boring. It was just like it had the wrong message and did things wrong, and it also have like high sounds, which is not good for people that has tinnitus.
Yeah, there's not a ton of overlap between boring and annoying. Like usually you're too busy being
boring than that.
Like I've been like bored while being annoyed that the episode would like make so many weak choices, like what Cart Before the Ponies, I guess. Is
I could see
super
that
annoying.
as a boring episode.
Yeah.
Wait,
What's
what?
like
I
a little
consider
bit
that an
annoying.
annoying episode.
What's
I
up?
don't know.
I consider Cart Before the Ponies to be an annoying episode, like a true example of that, not boring.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. But yeah, like let's see, what's a really boring episode to me is like Applejack's Day Off.
Applejack's Day Off.
Yeah, I would never pick that over what's only a little bit
That's
annoying.
where she fixes pipes and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Well, it starts out fun, I guess, for me, and then it becomes boring.
Yeah, like that episode where Maud and Starlight first become friends and Pinkie Pie is annoying throughout. It's like, but Pinkie Pie is only one part of it. Like I can take the rest just fine. Whereas something that's boring through and through, like Applejack's Day Off, I'm like, no, thank you.
Well, I guess it's like, what is your taste? Would you rather be annoyed or would you rather be bored?
I would rather be bored in this case because, like, Yakety Sax is just so my ears can't take it, and I don't understand why they couldn't have done it with like regular music because that's still annoying enough to like if you play normal music at night or like in the scenes where Pinkie plays it to be annoying. Yes, normal music, it doesn't matter what kind it is, it will still be annoying.
But yeah, I feel like when people say one, like when they answer that question, when they think they have the definitive answer, I feel like they're forgetting how bad the other can get. Like Princess Spike versus Yakety Sax, I'd rather be annoyed than bored. Really? Well, let's just see how bad annoying can get.
Okay, or like...
Watch Freddy Got Fingered?
No.
Watch Friedberg and Seltzer? When they do nothing except fail at being filmmakers and annoy you the whole time?
I actually would maybe prefer Yakety Sax.
Or those who say they prefer annoying, like, okay, hey, let's watch Empire, the movie that's just 8 hours of the Empire State Building with nothing happening around it.
Oh, well,
like
I would rather have that.
Oh my god, that's a time thing.
D-Rob! Which is bored backwards, because he's going insane. How do I remember all of this stuff?
I
am a
don't
little
know.
bit of a freak.
I can't believe we went off the rails in such an enlightening conversation.
So off the rails, we don't know how to get back. Which turn was
you should be used to this by now. You should be used to this by now.
We exceeded what this episode is worth. I don't know whose turn is it.
I don't know.
If somebody's been,
I have one little thing. I have one little comment to say about. Maybe a couple of comments about the episode. I was gonna say, I actually liked the episode. I agree that it is a good one. I can't say great, but still a good one. I liked it that they did Twilight got a lot of really crazy, funny faces in this. That's always so fun. It's so fun to see. I get so amused watching Twilight stressed out, and I'm a horrible person, I know, but it's just fun just watching her freak out like that.
Yeah. In real life,
we went on about callbacks last time. We were going about callbacks last time. Once again, this is another good way to kind of do callbacks and such. They kind of introduce the technique they use without making it kind of blatant. So it's kind of you have to guess at it and everything, but still seeing all those new funny faces and such. Like, I remember lesson 0. It was the day Twilight went crazy. But here it's like, oh no, she's not going full on lesson 0 again, but she's pretty close. But still, it was fun to see those. It was fun to see those faces again, and story wise, yeah, it just seemed like standard, but it was done pretty well. Although one thing is like, what the heck, Cranky Doodle was doing there, just taking up space, being useless in the episode. But
yeah, Cranky's track record with the series has only had like his notable entry, his notable contribution to the 100th episode, and then a bunch of side cameos that have made him completely irrelevant or irredeemable in some cases.
Right, and how do you fall asleep in a trivia game? How do you fall asleep?
Well, maybe he thinks it's boring and fall asleep.
I mean, I thought he's supposed to be cranky, not boardy or sleepy or whatever.
I don't know. Like, maybe he started out like
old,
he wanted it to have fun, but it was too boring for him.
What is Cranky's best appearance?
Cranky's best appearance is episode.
Friend Indeed. No,
it was the debut of the Smile song.
Friend Indeed. Season 2, episode 18.
His first appearance is what you're saying. I mean, he was honestly all right in that episode, but I feel like he was a bit drowned out by one of Pinkie Pie's biggest swings and biggest misses in the comedy department. Like, the second he shows up, they decide that, like, her annoying him is funny, and, like, the way she played... I mean, it could be, granted, if he was, like, thinking he was gonna grumpy growl her out of his life, and she was just too Pinky for him to keep down. Instead, you're actually siding with Cranky because Pinkie Pie is just like
really annoying.
It's just well, I mean, it's like there's not like comedic misunderstandings. The joke is just that Pinkie Pie is that obnoxious and that dumb and that annoying. And well, okay, that's annoying. That's like Pinkie Pie. What happened? You're off your game. You're usually so funny. And granted, she is until Cranky shows up. Yeah, the Smile song is a great Pinkie Pie moment, but yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I like him better in the 100 episode.
A Friend Indeed seems to have a lot of fans, though. I might just be the guy who's, rolling a lot of eyes right now saying that it's not funny.
I mean, look at one of the top fans for it right here. I related to that episode quite a lot.
Actually, haven't we had this conversation before?
Oh, yeah,
I think so.
Yeah. Yes, we have.
Okay, reminder of one split there. Although I'm on your side for at least.
Oh my god!
Part is really good.
Oh my god! I just saw the pictures.
Yeah, like.
What? Okay.
Doesn't it look weird?
I mean, it's more like a chubby face ponies now.
Yeah.
Chubby face ponies.
It feels like a new thing. Like that wasn't around like season 5 or something. That was like this is like season 7 or something.
I don't mind it much.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like kind of like DC right now. I think I've seen it before. Maybe not this much. I mean, there was Pinkie Pie eating the plate of muffins where they gave her temporary chubbiness all the way around afterwards. It's just like.
But isn't she supposed to look like sad in that first and the second there? She's going like. Oh.
Yeah, I don't know if the one on the right is that or not, a little bit, but I mean, it's I guess they're playing around with their animation style. It's like I said, it felt like they were trying to like remix Lesson 0 a little bit. See, hey, let's have Twilight have a new kind of freak out and see what other expressions we can get her to make.
I noticed that kind of head angle from Starlight a lot.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Actually, this taking out of context is not.
And again.
I'll just hide in my corner.
Really?
Jen, can you see that?
Yeah, I can. I know the third. I'm thinking the third screenshot.
Yeah, if you take it out of context. Like Pinky first doing something and Twilight looking at her, Twilight looking at her, and she's looking so innocent, and then Twilight, and then Twilight freaking out. Oh
The
no.
one where she. Oh wow! It's like captions. It's like Captions Against Humanity. Like right here. And these would be prime
Maybe we do need
real
to play that
estate
game
for
one more time.
captions.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can surely get your twi pie.
This would
No,
this would
Now I
this
know
would
it.
be
you
I
took that
think
perfectly
prime
innocent
real
line
estate
and
for
you made it
captions.
I
bad.
think besides one-offs, I think this animation choice reminds me a lot of like the movie style animation
Oh
in
yeah,
terms
It
of like
that's
does,
proportion.
yeah.
Yes.
yeah. It actually
I think
does.
like
I
after the
don't mind
movie,
that
they took a page
movie.
from it or something.
Yeah. Well, like, could they like make it 100% look like the movie? I like the animation from that. I wouldn't mind
It was
that.
really
The
good.
movie was
Good.
fine. Like, imagine
Yeah.
Gen 5 being animated like
I
that. Like,
wouldn't mind that. No.
I don't know, I feel like it's
hey.
good novelty animation. Like it's
Just
I mean
decide
it's like
what it's going to be though.
I don't know. I feel like it would get old if we saw it every time. Like it
I don't know.
I don't know. There's
Maybe.
something almost molasses-ish about it. Like they're in. I don't know. Like it's. Like just the way they move and like the almost. It has almost like a saturated quality to. I mean,
No,
am
yeah,
I just
that's true.
talking nonsense? Because I mean.
No, that's true. I think so too. Exaggerated. I would agree with that.
So well, like a no saturated.
Oh,
I said.
saturated.
Saturated in what sense?
Like just the colors. They look almost like
Oh.
thick and syrupy or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe if I knew more about animation, I'd be better at communicating what I mean here. But
And it's more like the art style.
Yeah, art. Yeah.
I'm thinking in terms of movement.
Yes.
Heck, even that, like I didn't particularly notice this, but hasn't the movie been accused of making them look sort of slowed down?
I don't know.
Well, it's like
Like moving at 75% speed or something like that.
They're moving 20% slower.
Yeah, there you go. Really, that. I don't know. I feel like maybe we really are at the point where all the charm has been sucked out of that line.
Yeah.
I
Like,
think
unless-
I think it kind of like I think it like long since like lost its
I
charm.
sucked this last 20% out of it.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I don't know. I think we're due. Like, if the show does make another joke about it, we're due for the part where it's that they use it so much. This room is so hot. Oh, not to worry. I've made it 20% cooler. And then Rainbow Dash slaps her.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be good. That would be good. Be like, serious? He could be like, seriously? That line is so not awesome anymore.
Just
I'll
like,
tell you what. I'll tell you one thing. Like, maybe just the word "awesome" kind of got annoying. Definitely got annoying after. Shoot, I'm gonna say the pet. I'm gonna say the Find a Pet episode, but then it just got worse in Equestria Girls.
I'm trying to think. Well, I don't know the first time I remember feeling like they were. Probably whenever it felt like, for me, I'd say whenever I started to feel like it, what I said about the last episode, like it was Rainbow Dash being reduced to her gimmick.
Yeah.
Maybe season 5-ish, like,
Yeah.
or am I misremembering season 5? I felt like there was at least one episode in there that kind of did that.
We're really off the rails, aren't we?
Well, I'm sort of.
We're so off the rails.
Started with the animation style discussion and then the discussion of the. Well, yeah, it's transitioned into something besides that, so maybe, yeah, that counts as off the rail. And shoot, now you got me analyzing everything. Curse you, trivia episode!
Yay!
The trivia episode is like, all according to plan.
No, I'm just kidding.
All according to plans.
All according to Keikaku.
Yay!
Now what?
Or
Now
like
we've made
Dusty
now we've made the
Rhodes,
second
1
opinion
billion
and analyze everything. What else can we make them do?
5,000 points. That was so funny.
That's also out of context, so, okay.
Yeah.
Does this episode have anything interesting enough to get us to stay on it for any more extended
Twilight.
length of
the twilighting. I think that's interesting.
And the Twi-Pie, or
Twilight.
Pink
I mean,
Pie.
like, I don't know. I've like
Star Pie.
Twilight. I mean, they've burnt me out on her Lesson Zero thing pretty good because I felt like it got to the Flanderization stage a while ago. But I will say, this one, I mean, as Daylover pointed out, it kind of got to the point where, or not got to the point, they kind of tried to take it in sort of a relatable direction here, like, okay, getting really bent up about, like a strategy, like about something that you've really planned out, you really want to be in the zone for, like a competition you're really looking forward to, and then, like, how deep that can take you, like, so that was new, so I had thoughts about this too. I guess I'd say it was kind of the point. Well, on one hand, they still did force it to be kind of a formula storyline, and I already went on forever and a day about that. But I mean, like, so, but yeah, I felt like the making Twilight kind of relatable on that level took what could have been just like a bare bones formula story and turned it into like well, for me, my standard solid but unspectacular, like, except instead because it was not boring but not great, because it was not disinteresting but also not annoying.
Mm.
Like, to me, this is kind of a B-C episode that has a lot of entertainment, even so, like, it's onto something here, but it still goes in a lot of directions that make me roll my eyes. Which should probably be my final thoughts, because that's probably the best summary I'm going to give here. But I don't know. I guess that translates to half agree on the Twilighting.
Yay!
Right.
And Twilighting.
I don't know. Just
Twilighting.
like, well, Twilight. She is one of my favorite characters in the show. Only Pinkie Pie and Rainbow Dash are any more fun to me. But I mean, like, but because I don't know. I felt like they. Like, we're so good with just her little nuances early on, just the how she can be disinterested, she can be introverted or even antisocial or a little bit rude, but I mean, she's also sweet at heart, she's also clever, a little snarky, she's not, like, she doesn't have anything against other ponies, just, like, you have to catch her interest and stuff like that, and now,
Right.
yeah, I mean, what are good, like, Winter Wrap-Up, for example, or, like, Book Before You Sleep, where she's, like, so excited to be a part of something new. It's like, okay, you did catch her interest, but then how, she relates to those things being what she is, even if, heck, even some of the cheesy gags in those, it's like, okay, but I mean, and at least it earned its cheesy gags a little bit. It set them up. It, showed, like, why these are the gags they want to make, like, Twilight in and out of context. I can, like, and now it seems like it's the idea they have for her is, like, more or less,
Mm-hmm.
which
Only because it's like it's just so iconic, you know.
Yeah.
was, I mean, it's one of the most high energy Twilight episodes they've ever did, and I mean, if I'm the only one, I'll shut up. But, like, does anyone else kind of miss, like, the other kinds of Twilight episodes they could do, like, sort of
Well,
other
like,
sides of her character to get into?
Yeah.
I like the soft Twilight too, like the one where she's like, oh, I want to, instead of smile and wave, I want to do more, and like,
Yeah.
like,
Where
So
Twilight
this is Princess
where
Twilight?
Twilight wants to, you know, wants to be useful.
yeah, and it's not because I think like she doesn't deserve this win, but she wins all of the more important things, like with her friends, right?
Right.
If
Are
you
you
think
going
about
back
it.
to standing up for this episode?
Well, yeah, I don't know.
Because, like,
It's like a back and forth at this point. Like we could easily do Ganon versus Link energy passing this all day.
like, you're making me think of the whatchamacallit, Princess and the Frog moral.
Yeah.
My daddy didn't have a lot, but he had what he needed.
Yeah.
And that's love.
Oh yeah.
Oh, my back.
But I think this episode actually brought a lot of stuff to the front, especially with second than me.
Kinda, sorta. I mean, but I don't know. I mean, it drew more interesting conversation out of me, I think, than, like, at least better things to say than, more flanderizing, more disinterest from me, same 100,000 times said it thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Wait, which reminds me, has no one even talked about the fact that every other side character in this episode was literally being sassy?
Yeah.
So, like, the way they've been, like, and they're like, that was the biggest thing that was making me laugh. Just
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah.
everyone was just on point, and that's why I couldn't even, like, hate Twilight, even though, like, she was, like, and like, in her, like, morally, like, contrived, like, way of, like, her being wrong, still felt more right than Rainbow Dash in last episode. So that's what made me feel okay about it. Like, as long as I feel okay about it, then you could still go with, like, a particular plot. But if it's annoying and bad, like Rainbow last episode, we got problems, and you're making me not like Rainbow more for, like, a contrived reason now instead of, like, an actual reason.
Yeah, like, I'm not against that stuff. Well, I mean, if the episode thinks it's, like, it's on to clever writing or, like, meaningful points with stuff like that, then you're going to get me to roll my eyes. But I mean, if they're doing it because it wants to make a fun, over-the-top comedy episode, and you're supposed to know that, then I'm kind of okay with it. Like, that's why one of the gentler ones on Rainbow Falls, I think that's also supposed to be just, an over-the-top sort of, like, but in proportion, like, everybody's a little over-the-top today sort of goofy comedy episode.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and Rainbow Falls, like, that episode was the wrong episode to put that tone, especially for, like, the crossroads of 3 different story plot lines.
Yeah.
You don't do that for such an episode like that. That really ruined it for me.
But I
And
like
Rainbow,
this
and
episode
Rainbow
more
was
than
actually
the last
good
one.
in that episode too. So,
Well,
yeah.
and I mean, for me, I guess that's another reason, like, one of the gentler ones is, like, instead of, they use it as sort of way to swerve around the really metal, dramatic way of telling it, like, oh, this is the definitive moment of where she has to betray her friends, and they look at her so concerned, and she has to feel so guilty. Instead, it's like the way somebody, like, trying to tell a lie, it's closer to the way that plays out. They have to come up with excuses on the fly, and it's humorously awkward. I tripped and fell on a booby sticker on the ground. Oh, if I ever get my hands on that booby stick coming out of the ground, I'll get it. I don't know. Again, the way it hits everybody though. Like, that's one of many reasons. I'm sure it can swerve the wrong way for a lot of people. There seems to be an esoteric sort of ground that I stand in that it's not terrible for me.
Oh, yeah. I like the fact that, like, our tendencies are quite different for certain episodes of Always Around Your Favorite Pony. Things like that just fills up, like, the spice of life and such. But I'm just wondering, what would Rarity been like in this episode if she was here?
That might just be a missed opportunity, actually. Wouldn't Rarity have been the funniest one of all?
Yeah, with dramatics. Just like charm.
Because, like, when Rarity decides that she knows something, or, like, something should be the way she pictures it as, like, she can be the most comedically played up of all, and within her personality, can't she?
I mean, like, look at Granny Smith in this episode. Tabitha knows how to work the charm. Like, Granny's
yes.
I am so disappointed in you, granddaughter. And it's like, oh my god, this is actually.
I was like, how does, like, Applejack, like, not know the apple squish? And I was like, what in the world?
This
is the Fluttershy of all ponies gets it.
She's like, you and I are gonna have a little talk.
I was gonna make you ain't no granddaughter of mine joke, but then I thought, oh, too soon. Very too soon.
Yeah. Good
Still
plan.
might not have been worth the high hoof from both biceps.
It was still fun to see it. It's still always fun to see him, though.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying on Fluttershy's part, like, maybe she wishes she would have not answered correct.
Yeah.
I think she can take it, you know. She can take it. She's a tough little gal. She can take it.
Oh,
And
she's
also, and also the moment.
Next time, a little bit, not so hard.
Oh
Okay.
no, Jen, you're making it worse.
Okay.
Wait.
Okay.
What do you mean I'm making it worse?
Day-Lover's going to turn pretty much everything into a double entendre.
Man,
Oh
J-Lo was
no, I
really
just
both-
realized it.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering right now,
Honestly,
like,
woman, you're embarrassing your perfectly decent gentleman partner.
Well,
What do you mean embarrassment? What do you mean embarrassment? Oh, she could be giving you ideas.
I'm being silly on purpose here.
I'm just thinking right now, like in this episode, like the only characters that really didn't do anything were like Doctor Who's and Matilda. Out of Doctor Who.
Was Matilda
That was a missed opportunity too. I was like, what in the world? Oh, wait a minute. Now we know why Cranky was there. Because Matilda was there.
Yeah, that was the
Because
only
Matilda
reason.
was there. Now we know why Cranky was
maybe
there.
the honeymoon phase is over and she threw him out.
And now,
Matilda?
she's getting with the doc. And wait. And now she's getting with the doctor. Derpy found out. That's why she's banging on the door. She's like, Doctor, come back. That's so sad now.
And that's why Derpy was locked out at the end. He didn't want a third wheel in this relationship.
That was so sad.
Doctor's going with another assistant now. Oh.
Actually, honestly, this is probably one of Derpy's better cameos in a while.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it was like a reverse of episode 100, in which she locked out the main six. This time
Oh,
she
yeah,
was
that's
the one that was
true.
locked out.
That's true.
They're getting her back. They're getting her back for episode 100.
Although, actually, I feel like we've hit the point where the fandom has long since stopped caring about Derpy cameos all that much.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Derpy Gate is over.
Derpy Gate has been over, and like even though like they now have to call it Muffins, like the legacy of Derpy will live on as like one of the fandom's darlings.
Yeah, she's more
exactly.
like Find Waldo character now.
Watch out. Well, I mean, like, she was always that, but they were having a little more fun with it before now.
Okay,
Everybody
guys,
kind of seems to have a been there, done that kind of mood about it.
I might be going crazy. I just now thought of what would they do about a Gen 5 version of Derpy?
Well, Derpy. Hold on. Here's the thing. I don't even think they'll even include. I'd be shocked if they include Derpy in Gen 5.
They won't even have her because, like,
I don't think they will.
They won't have Celestia and Luna.
I think.
I have no idea what Gen 5 is going to be. Who knows?
You mean there's no Celestia and Luna in Gen 5?
I don't think so.
I could actually see them having Derpy, but it would be basically Gen 5's version of Slice of Life sort of thing, like a big sort of reference episode, and like in the background there would be like a Derpy style pony. Derpy hooves are very, very similar to Derpy hooves like pony. But that's how I could see them actually including Derpy in like Gen 5. Not as the main character, as a surprise and a special episode background character sort of thing.
Gone but not forgotten. Right, every pony, and a Derpy style pony yells, "Right!"
Oh boy. I don't know. You know, I can understand like them not doing Derpy in Gen 5 because like Derpy was originally a glitch, and also when Derpy got a voice, there's so many people that had then Derpygate happened, and then, there were some that got in such a brouhaha about it. They were like, I still find it like so ridiculous that some people thought that like that Derpy was a character making fun of those with disabilities and everything. Like, no, it's not really. That definitely was not the intention, but yet it came off like that, and there was such just a brouhaha about it. Yeah. But since it caused so much of a brouhaha in the beginning, they probably won't. We're like, okay, fine, well, we're just gonna start the slate clean. We're not gonna have Derpy
for a while.
Yeah, for a while.
I'd be shocked if they did.
It'll be interesting to see. Anyway, I think that's the last of the thoughts I have for this episode, though.
Yeah, me too.
I think it's like a wise decision to end things now.
Yeah.
Let me see. Yeah, we've been going on
I hear my bed calling my name. Oh no, it's not my bed.
Ew,
We're
Ma.
gonna have to stick a parental advisory sticker on this React.
And I thought I'd be the one to worry about, but apparently I have some competition.
Oh,
All right.
The truth.
I guess with that said, yeah, see y'all next week.
yay!
See ya.
Bye.
So,
Bye.